Hey, Greg. Joe Chats on Tab Sportsnet. Curious, the thoughts going into those subs. It seems like they were going to be made before the own goal happens. Curious what you thought of those subs, then adjusting to their role in the game that was a little different than maybe what they were expecting, and just kind of those last 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think the original plan was to put them in for defensive reasons, but what we saw was we were able to get them in the attacking end also. I mean, it was, to us, it was pretty clear we needed some fresh legs on there, and I think they came in and certainly made a difference. So to give the legs and be able to move from defensive role to offensive really quickly and keep pressure on the opponent was important in that match, and that helped us get the win for sure.
Alex Calabrese, MLSsoccer.com. I'm going to ask this in a very weird way, Coach, but
Okay.
Chicago has a Pope Leo the 14th. You opened the scoring in the 14th minute. I'm just going to ask, with all that in the background,
It was divine intervention. You know that from St. Ignatius.
Exactly.
There's such thing.
So, just your emotions for your first win at Soldier Field as a coach or a player.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration, but relief. I mean, we've been talking through this for weeks now, right? And we wanted to get more wins at home. So up until now, we haven't, and you just have to focus on the next game. And in particular, I think this week that we had with, after the Nashville game, moving into the week where Orlando, we got a red card, but we hung on and we fought well. We Open Cup, we cruised through that. And then to win on this weekend, it shows a great response from the group. Not only that, I think we were able to use, a number of different players in the squad throughout this week, and I think that strengthens the group and strengthens the morale in the group.
Hey, Greg. Tim Hotzeman at Red 97. So you said that the U.S. Open Cup would be an opportunity to get guys who are on the cusp of the 11 the opportunity to show what they could do. The subs that came in, a lot of them, so like Marin helped set up the goal. We saw Amari Glasgow get the formal assist. What is it? How refreshing is it to see the team actually get performances from guys coming off the bench and kind of push it, make a case for more minutes as subs?
Yeah, we need that. The message to the team coming into this week was it was going to be a squad week. Everyone was going to get game time. And I think that's the case. So the team, the depth of the team is extremely important. With guys like Amari, with him, it's all about how do we keep developing him? How do we keep improving him? It's difficult when you move positions, and now all of a sudden he comes in a right back, and the expectations are still high. We still want to win games, and it's not easy. But for us, it's about sticking with him, giving him opportunities, and continuing to progress him along that he can maximize his own potential.
Jim and then Alex.
Hey, Coach. Jim Alexander, Real Talker. The first half, you guys were in control. Possession, just sort of constantly relentless attacking. And then it sort of shifted early in the second half. They sort of took the advantage and the possession. Do you think it was something you expected them to come out stronger in the second half, or the team maybe sort of let up? Because the game, it seems like, could have been maybe put away in the first half.
Yeah, I agree. And this is one of these things where, we win and we still look back critically on the game and say, okay, where can we be better? And I thought there was a moment that started a couple minutes before the end of the first half. We started to lose a little bit of momentum, and then that carried into the second half at times. And really in those moments when the opponent, it's completely normal for the opponent to get an advantage in the game. It's very hard to dominate an opponent for 90 minutes straight. But I think in those moments when the opponent is dominating, we need to use the counterattack much more efficiently, because they open themselves up, they're moving into high press, and that's where I think we can get behind them and create more opportunities and then put the game away at that stage.
We'll go Alex, and then we'll go Kira.
Alex Campbell from CHGO. Greg, of course, a kind of a smaller storyline today is Jeff Gall makes his first MLS start. Doesn't get the clean sheet, but overall seemed like he had a strong, confident performance, and I'm wondering what you saw from him in his true full debut and for that to come here in Chicago for him.
I think the most important thing for Jeff was that he looked like he belonged. He looked calm. For his first start, you didn't see any wobbles. You didn't see any unsureness or lack of confidence, and that was really important. It's amazing that he's gone this long and this is his first game and he still performs really well. Really happy for him, happy for his family that they get to see this. And, it shows that, when a guy pays his dues that long, you finally get the opportunity. It's nice to take advantage of it.
Hi, Coach. Kirill Anastasov of Chicago Sports Nation. You touched upon the fact that this was a week with a lot of squad rotation, and that's something that's going to continue as your run in the Open Cup continues. Get us a week to catch your breath here after a busy few days, but given that these two games now coming up are both against MLS opposition in the span of 72 hours, what kind of squad management can we expect to see with obviously full-strength lineups perhaps necessary in both cases?
Yeah, we'll see. To me, I don't think there needs to be that much of a drop-off. I think players can play 3 games in a week, right? It's done across Europe and South America and even in the United States, teams that are in the CONCACAF tournament. So there's plenty of reason to believe that guys can do it, and it's not that big of a deal. So for us, it's really about being smart with how we train, really recovering, proper nutrition, proper sleep, and getting ready to play. It's always nice to have the opportunity to go into the quarterfinals of the Open Cup. So we'll be ready for it.
Coach Mike Napolitano, WRMN, you talked about the fresh legs in those substitutions and also the shift in the mindset after that goal was scored. Especially when the physicality ramped up there in those last couple of minutes, we saw the Fire start to have a push offensively that was kind of led by the eventual goal scorer, Kwame. Tell me a little bit about, do you think it was more so the fresh legs, or was it the matchups and strategy going into those substitutions?
It's a good question, and I think it's a little bit of both. Understandably so, Sergio got a little bit tired. Phil was working hard all game and lost some of the pop that he normally has. So we needed some injection of life. And I think the most important thing that we saw was the guys, including towards the end of the game, were just passing and moving and really offering for each other. And when we do that, we're very difficult to play against. And I think we got to a point in the second half where we were very static, staying in our positions, guys not having help when they had the ball, and then it becomes pretty easy to defend.
One more from me, Greg. Sam Rogers, we saw 2 sides of the coin with him. 79th minute makes a goal-saving tackle, and then unfortunate own goal. What do you think, just for him to get not only his confidence up, but his play to where he wants to be? What do you think he needs to do to take that next step?
I think he's trying, and to me, it's just continue to do the work on the training field, searching for that consistency. So really sticking to the principles of how we play, and it wasn't easy in the case of making an own goal and some other plays, but give Sam a lot of credit because he's played a lot of minutes this year, and he's hanging in there, and as long as he keeps improving and getting better, he'll be okay.
Last question, Alex Calabrese.
Another weird one.
This one will be a bit more normal.
Okay.
Hugo Cyupers is leading the Golden Boot race
Yeah.
now, sole possession with his 8th goal in the league. What's your conversations been like in the last few weeks?
I haven't talked to him in the last 2 weeks. No, not about that. He's in. What do I need to say to him, right? He's doing a great job. He's working hard. We do some training. After training, we do some individual work with him, but I don't think there's much to be said for a guy who's in form. You want to continue that on. We show him video and we work with him, but no real deep conversations with Hugo right now. We're just letting it ride.